Hey everyone, so earlier today I went to see Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I haven't really followed Power Rangers since the original series back in the 90s, and even then I watched it in English, and being a kid from Denmark that could barely read subtitles at the time, let's just say my relationship with Power Rangers is, oh man, cool robots, but I had no idea what it was about. Like, oh man, now he goes into the suit and now he goes to smack the guy, and that was about my relationship with Power Rangers. Um, so this movie is very much. I took my mom to see it because we were out in the town anyway, and we're like, oh hey, Power Rangers on, let's go see it. And like for a movie that came out like a week ago at most, like this week I believe even, um, it was surprisingly empty at the theater. I think we were like 10 people in the entire hall. The movie is very, how can I say, like, it's the best you could hope for with what we have. Like, um, consider what a serious reboot of Power Rangers would be, and then consider like the best you could hope for in the current like uh milieu of Hollywood, like the current Hollywood, like cause they certainly do a lot of fan service. Like there are copious amounts of like fan service. They really go down the path of updating it so new viewers can get into the universe. But at the same time, like there's a lot of voice lines lifted directly from the original series. There's a lot of catchphrases from there being repeated. Um, there's a lot of like they even play the original theme at one point, like, and I don't mean like a remix. Like I'm sure a lot of you who have watched remixes of reviews of this movie, like it's not a remix, it's the original theme from the original series. And they really go all out with like trying to update the movie for modern audiences, and still like, hey look, it's still Power Rangers, we're still silly, haha, look at the silly guy making the joke. And um it honestly works. Like I can't really, I don't know why, cuz it shouldn't. Should it? It shouldn't, cuz like the actors are fine, but like this is not deep character acting, and I think everyone on set was just having fun with the concept of, oh, we're doing an action show, and everyone seemed to just do their best with what they had. I mean, Power Rangers as a concept was never art to begin with, so like, I'm sorry if you love Power Rangers, but like, you must admit, like, it's not Shakespeare, right? They definitely like updated the characters, like the original five kids are there. Which makes me think like there's a lot of world building, and there's a lot of mentioning things from the TV show. Like you do get a lot of hints, like alluding to later events of the TV show. So there's a lot of like, um, if this movie doesn't take off, it could work as an alternative pilot to season one, like an alternative season one of Power Rangers, and if it does take off, if it does take off, like it can work to like, let's reimagine like the entire Power Rangers universe, because they name drop a lot of things. If you're like a casual viewer like me, there's a lot of, oh well, I remember hearing that word before. But um it's not to the point. As I said, I brought my mom to see it because we were just making a normal like happy day out of it, and she actually was able to follow it. So it's very like if you're worried about having to watch the original TV show, Power Rangers, don't worry about it, because this like even though they do, as I say, name drop a lot of shit and quote a lot of shit, they also like explain everything. Like they're really rematching all the important bits, like what is a ranger, what do the rangers do, why are they here, where do they get their powers from, what the and you have like the characters are like, oh, instead of the teenagers with attitude being like the fucking Glee Club or something like that, it's more like the Breakfast Club. There's a lot of Breakfast Club vibes in this. There's a very, they even have like a very like Breakfast Club moment where they're like sitting, because they don't know each other at the beginning of the movie, so they have to get to know each other. So you do get a lot of like Breakfast Club-ish moments where they try to like, oh man, my old man, he doesn't get me and shit like that. So if you're a fan of the Breakfast Club and thought, hey, you know what the Breakfast Club fucking needed? Giant robots. This is your movie. It's your time. If you wanted to see the cast of the Breakfast Club do a Power Rangers TV show, this is your movie. Congratulations, you got your movie. For the rest of us, like, it's just a fun, dumb movie. Like it hits a lot of very positive notes. It does like do some of the, as far as I can understand, I've watched some reviews before doing my own review, because I wanted to be like, apparently like they're very heavy-handed with you gotta understand, like, we don't have Krispy Kremes here, so when I heard Krispy Kreme I was like, oh, what is that? Like, is that just store in the universe? Am I supposed to remember that from an episode of the show? But no, Krispy Kreme is apparently a big donut shop chain in America, and they're like they have every single character say Krispy Kreme at least once, and it very like, it's very weird. Like, Krispy Kreme is just all over the place in this movie, so if that bothers you, like, that would be the only thing that really bothers you, I think. I think the designs are updated well for a more serious look. They do some fun notches at the superheroes genre. And they just have fun with the concept. Like Ninja Turtles should have done, honestly. Like Transformers should have done. They should have just taken it a little bit seriously and then just had fun with the concept, and that's what Power Rangers does. Power Rangers just, oh hey, we updated the costumes to look more mainstream, and then we made a lot of, we just took care to have fun with it, and like, on the range of like what level is this movie, think Hellboy, think the good Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like, they're not good, or they are good, but they're not great. They're good, they're not great. Like 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, like A minus, B plus, good job, thumbs up. Like, if you just want, I don't know how long is this movie, 2 hours, just want 2 hours to go by and watch a silly good movie, with some cool characters and some nice setup for what might become a great movie series, give it a shot. Like, seriously, give it a shot. Go, even though like Power Rangers is the last thing you ever put on your mind, try giving this movie a shot and see if you can't just have fun with the concept of 5 teens learning to use giant robots and fight putty monsters. That's really all I have to say about it. Like, A minus, B plus, have fun with it. Go have a beer afterwards, something. I'll see you guys around. Bye.